revoke your deferred adjudication, find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2024 PF 11630. There's to be no contact. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 10589. Excuse me in the box. Could you whisper, sir? Excuse me in the box. If you could whisper. Court is calling 2022 CR 10589. State of Texas versus Armando Rodriguez Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Megan Enriquez. For
And
the
are you
defense.
Mr. Rodriguez Jr.? Did you review the document entitled motion to revoke? I'm sorry, motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision and first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Armando Rodriguez Jr. who's placed on deferred adjudication and 2022 CR 10589 for the offense of theft under $2,500 on June 1st, 2023 for a period of 3 years? Is that you? All right, state.
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Armando Rodriguez Jr. did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November and December 2023 in violation of condition number 4. State waived to remain in violation allegations.
All right, how do you plead to that, true or not true? And any objection to the waiver of the other allegations?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Days in the state jail facility for time served.
And are you taking anything in consideration?
Yeah, 11630.
Yes. Is that the proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rodriguez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right. All right. So can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. State your name for the record. All right, so why did you not do well on probation?
I was homeless at the time, ma'am, and I was struggling quite a bit. Come to a little bit quickly.
All right. And probation,
Yes, Judge.
is this probation's recommendation?
Judge, the recommendation that was on the court summary indicates women for SATF followed by aftercare, remain in custody or bed. And that, of course, that the new case would need to be resolved before transfer.
All right. So here's the thing, Mr. Rodriguez. You know yourself better than I know you, better than probation knows you. If you have a drug problem, which you may have one, if you don't address that, you're going to be right back here for another offense. Maybe not the next day, maybe not in 2 days, but you'll be back. So if you would like, 1, I'll follow your agreement, revoke you, sentence you to 180 days at the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, taking in consideration the case that the state is asking be taken into consideration. Or I can continue you, in which case you'll be in custody and you'll be waiting a treatment bed at SATF.
She's giving you the option to, she can follow the agreement that
Yes.
Mr. Coons that Mr. Coons discussed with you.
Mhm.
Or if you wanted treatment now, she could also keep you on probation and send you to SATF, but she's leaving that up to you. Do you want, the first option is what Mr. Coons discussed with you, Michelle?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you just want to go do your time? All right. I'm hoping I don't hear about you on the news with your body being found somewhere, because sometimes you can get a hold of bad drugs. You understand? All right, court will follow your agreement. The court is going to revoke your deferred adjudication, find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2024 PF 11630. There's to be no contact with Home Depot and Marshalls. All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Who's here on Jose Casares?
Good.
I'm just fine. There he is. All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court is calling 2022 CR 0057, State of Texas versus Jose Angel Casares Jr. Do I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Jonathan Ross for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Mr. Jose Angel Casares Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yeah.
Are you the same Jose Angel Casares Jr. who's placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 0057 for the offense of injury to the elderly bodily injury on March 28, 2024 for a term of 6 years? Is that you? All right, state.
For petition number 4 from Bear County, Texas, the defendant Jose Arnie Casares did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May and June of 2024 in violation of petition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
State will be waiving and abandoning the remaining conditions.
Any objection to the waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Because I didn't have nowhere to live.
No, my question is, do you still wish to plead true knowing that I could revoke you and sentence you to 6 years? All right, so let me explain something to you. Sometimes people will come before me and they enter a plea of true and they want to explain why they did something. That's completely separate from the question of whether you did it or not. So right now we're at the point where I'm asking you, did you not report? I'm sorry, that's a double negative. Did you report, yes or no, for those days?
No.
All right, so now that I've gotten that, then my next question is, by telling me that you didn't report, I could sentence you up to 6 years, regardless of whatever agreement that you have with the state. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Because you have a contract with the court and your contract has your conditions in it, which are things that you need to do. Do you understand? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm finding violation of condition number 4 true because you've pled true and you've told the court that you still wish to go forward with your plea of true to number 4, knowing that I could revoke you and sentence you to 6 years. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the court is finding 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is.
Yes.
We ask the court deny the motion, continue him off probation, alter and amend the conditions to include a 30-day jail sanction. Order the probation to participate in MIG supervision. Zero tolerance supervision regarding the reporting supervision. We must verify residency within 30 days of release and verify employment or SSI within 90 days.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
St. Andrew Costas Junior.
All right, so why are you not doing well on probation?
I didn't have the place to get where to live and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
this time I already got a stable place.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up so that I can hear you and so that the court reporter can hear.
I didn't have a stable place, but now I do have a stable place. It's my grandmother.
All right, so why didn't you have a stable place before?
I didn't know whether or not to ask, and I went to somebody else's house to ask them a question, and they called the cops on me. So
No, I mean, why didn't you pick up the phone? Because you've been on this probation, and I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
You've been on probation since March 28, 2024.
Okay.
So why didn't you ask your grandmother before then?
I was trying to wait for it to go to the Social Security office, and I went from to that. So I went over to ask somebody for some information, and they called the cops.
So you're saying since March 28, 2024, you've been in custody?
No,
All right, so what is your grandmother's name?
Gloria,
Gloria what?
Lacidus,
All right, does she want you staying with her?
you don't mind?
No. Does she want you staying there? Did you pick up a phone? Did you call her and ask, may I stay with you?
I went there and asked if she said I could stay a
All right, when did you go and ask?
while back. I don't know how long ago that was.
Okay, I'm not following your story very well.
And what month are we?
All right. So we're at the end of September right now. It's September 30th. Do y'all believe he's competent? Defense?
I do, Your Honor. I do. He has he has schizophrenia. He's been on medication in the jail, and I've been able to talk with him. He seems to have a rational, factual understanding of the facts in the case. He may be a little bit nervous right now.
Mhm.
I know he's trying to kind of explain dropping the ball,
Yeah.
and there may not be
So,
a
Mr.
really satisfying answer to
problem.
that. Yeah.
So, Mr. Costeris, do you know what you're on probation for?
Due to an elderly person?
Okay. And do you know how much time I could sentence you to prison?
Yeah,
And what time is that?
6 years.
Okay. And do you know your attorney? Yes. Do you know what his job is?
Make sure I get the right judgment and stuff.
Okay. And do you know what the prosecutor's job is?
Make sure that I get the maximum.
People always say to make sure you get the maximum, but he's the state of Texas, right? So if there is alleged to be a criminal offense, then he represents the state of Texas. He doesn't represent individual people. He doesn't even represent, like in this case, the person that you're accused of injuring. He doesn't represent that individual person. He represents the state of Texas. Okay. So when there is an alleged offense committed, it's an offense to the state of Texas or whatever you state you're in. And so that's why they represent the state of Texas. So his job is supposed to be to see that justice is done. And his job is to represent you within all ethical and legal standards. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So probation,
Yes, Judge.
I had previously ordered a mental health evaluation. Was that not done because he disappeared?
Judge, you can speak more.
All right, thank you.
Believe.
Just my understanding that was.
Yes.
There was a mental health evaluation done on April the 8th.
Mhm.
He was only approved for big supervision.
Okay.
There was also a TAP evaluation completed, and that was done on the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And the TAP said, their recommendation was for him to be evaluated for the MIG initiative as well.
All right, and help educate me. The MIC initiative, is that different than being placed on the,
Big caseload,
yes.
no judge, same thing.
Ah, okay. So probation, you're saying this recommendation should be followed?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and who is the person? Oh, there's no such address as the old Pearsall Road address he gave.
The 87, 70, I think, it's one, it's there.
Well, they say it's not there. So here's my thing. I will continue you,
Okay.
but here's my issue. I don't know if placing him with his grandmother is the right place to be placing him. I mean, does anybody feel that way? Because he's on for injury to the elderly. I'm assuming his grandmother is older than his mom. So do we think that's I don't know if that's a good placement for him. Is there somewhere else?
I have an aunt and uncle that live in an apartment complex in that hill, but I don't have to.
Well, do you know if they want you to be there?
I was there for a little bit, and I didn't, I could have asked them, and I didn't.
And how old are they?
They're like 30s and 40s.
Okay. Probation, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. It is my understanding, Your Honor, that
Did y'all confer with probation?
we did. Yeah.
Judge, we talked about the recommendation.
Sorry.
Okay. So do y'all want to confer with her? Because
Sure.
I don't want to set him up for failure. And he's on probation for injury to the elderly, right? And then now I'm being told that he wants to stay with his grandmother.
Is there a way we could recall this case where later this week to have defendants reach out to the exam uncle and see if that's something that they're willing on doing?
I don't have a number. I just offhand. I could just, when I get there, just call in or something like that.
I'm sorry, what?
If I get there and just call in or something like that,
No, because I don't know.
do it this time.
Well, Google. And we can go off the record.
Yeah.
Google works. If somebody knows their name, maybe if you put them in the search engine.
Okay.
I don't know. So I don't, y'all want to
Okay.
step back a little bit?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
let's see. I don't want to set him up for failure. And I think having him go reside with her is setting him up for failure. And then somebody needs to make sure that he's on his meds. Then we have this
Yes.
whole thing with the schizophrenia. Maybe you all can call. Let me see. Let's go off the record for a moment. All right. So you all have all of the discovery?
Judge, I think from what I can tell, we are missing, there was a search warrant or an arrest warrant for our client, and I don't see that in the discovery. I checked during lunch. I see a search warrant that they got after the fact, but I don't see a copy of the arrest warrant.
All right, state. She says she doesn't have a copy of the arrest warrant. Do you all have that anywhere? All
I
right.
had conferred previously with Mr. Garrigan.
All right. Is it easy for you to pull that up if you all do have it?
Yes.
All right.
If we have it, it should be easy. I don't know if we do have it.
Oh, let's find out. So which case is the arrest warrant on?
It would be, let's see, Judge. It would be 2024 CR 008458 and 8437.
All right, let's see if he can pull that up. If you guys will step back, we'll see if we can get that for you.
Yes, Judge.
And then after you have that, then I'll give you all a new date.
Okay, and Judge, may I also tender to the court, I had conferred with Jason on that particular case. That was his recommendation to
All
the
right.
court.
All right, we'll have a hearing on it. Just step back. We'll have a hearing on this and I'll take it up.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I think it should be fairly easy to get a copy of the arrest warrant. I'm hoping he
Yes, sir.
was, unless he was arrested without a warrant, which it appears that he was. Is that correct?
No, well, no, but they obtain a search warrant kind of based on the arrest
Arrest
warrant.
warrant.
I would just like to read the arrest warrant.
Okay. So we know for sure that a arrest warrant exists.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. State, that should be fairly easy for you all to obtain. I'm going to call this back for October 3rd.
Was it possible to move it to the following week, Judge?
Is there an issue with that time?
Charles is out that day, so just if I'd like to do it when he can be present.
Okay. Norma, put this for October 7th. All right. And then we have a motion to set bond on the motion to revoke. Court is calling 2023 CR 10767W, State of Texas versus Michael Lee Kilgore. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state, for the defense?
Lindsay Shaw?
All right, the defense has filed a motion to set bond. My understanding, you conferred with another
Yes,
prosecutor?
ma'am, Judge. I conferred with Jason Garahan and he agreed to recommend a bond of 20,000.
All right. And state, are you proceeding with the recommendation from Mr. Garahan?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kilgore, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do?
Now, currently, I have a car dealership I've been working on for the last 2 years. I actually signed with Westlake Financial to do my flooring plan. So I've actually been a small business owner the last recently 6 months. And
Well, no, do you have a brick and mortar where my car, for example, my car dealership is at 300 De La Rosa. There it is, right across the street. The sign is up, the cars are there. Do you have that type of business or is it strictly online?
it's not strictly online. Like I said, that's what Westlake was working with me on, was building the floor plan. So they were handling everything for location and doing the floor plan for it.
Right, so you currently do not have a location?
No, ma'am.
And do you have any vehicles for the business?
I do. Currently, right now, I don't know. I've been
Well,
locked up. So
No. How many vehicles are you saying you have for your dealership?
right now, I'm doing 4 at a time
Okay.
at auctions.
Okay. So you currently have four vehicles in inventory.
And will in inventory as of right now that I know of. Like I said, I've been locked up and left.
No. I want you to answer my questions because I'm trying to figure things out so we can stay on track with my questions.
Sure.
And then if there's something you want to add later, I will give you ample opportunity to do that. All right, so there's no location. I have four vehicles in inventory right now. And if you were released, do you have a place to stay?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one moment.
It's within.
From here, from the courthouse, Judge, it looks like it's only 13 miles.
Okay. And have you ever had any mental health issues? Ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
No,
And what would that be?
that's PTSD.
Have you been on any type of medications? Have you ever used any type of drugs in the past? Anything other than marijuana? All right. And you all have agreed to set his bond at $20,000 on the motion to revoke. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court is going to set your bond at $20,000. Partial GPS. Waive fees. And that's until further notice. You'll be allowed to work upon a presentation of a work schedule and proof of employment. And I'll do a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And you're to reside at the address that you've given the court that is in Shoals, Texas.
Thank you, Judge. You're welcome.
All right, Brianna Butler. Court is calling 2024 CR 008-139, State versus Xavier Martinez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
Defense?
Will Brooks, Judge.
And are you Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am.
And counsel, were you recently appointed?
Yes, for purposes of the record, Judge, I was appointed today and Mr. Martinez wishes to waive the 10 days as far as preparation.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Martinez, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney and understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, waiving count 1 and proceeding on count 2.
Any objection?
No objections, Judge.
All right, Mr. Martinez, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and cite it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses? The state will call them the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
That is my belief, Judge.
Mr. Martinez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Oh, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Oh, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 2. They're recommending deferred adjudication. This is run concurrent with 2024 CR 5756. They're taking into consideration 2024 AL 005487. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just one moment. Excuse me. Do y'all have that file number? 2024 CR 5756. He's on the channel. All right, so, well, before you go get it, is there a motion to revoke in that case or no?
No, Judge.
Okay,
And I can explain.
There will not, Your Honor, because of the unusual timing of these events. This case that we're dealing with now is alleged to have occurred April 6th.
yes.
Was rejected for further investigation in June. Mr. Martinez then entered his plea on the cruelty non-livestock animal in August. And then this case was indicted.
Okay, all right, thank you. That clears things up for the court. All right, did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court? Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, do we need such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years and there be the drug offender education program. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
Contained in exhibit 1 and attachments, Your Honor.
No objections, Judge.
State you may be excused.
Thank you.
Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge, will waive a PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, some additional history on this case. When he was sentenced on the animal cruelty case, the court ordered a referral to drug court, a TAP evaluation to be performed in custody, and I believe a McMyoff. And those evaluations have been performed.
Mhm.
He was disqualified from drug court because of the history. He did not qualify for the MIC caseload unit, and actually on September 11th, the court ordered him to be released outright with his conditions of probation on the animal cruelty case. So this is the only thing that's holding him in custody right now.
Okay. All right. Do you have any drug issues?
No, not really.
What does that mean, not really?
Because I have had a past really bad drug history, but through experiences I've been through, I've had a lot of, I've gained a lot of control over it. Yeah, before I got arrested, I would smoke a lot of weed, but that's pretty much it. And when I'm out there, I take a lot for granted. I take my job for granted. I take my family for granted. I'm not trying to mess it up over some weed, mess up this probation. I feel like this probation for the long period of time is actually going to help me better my future, because then it'll help me stay on the right track and keep me in line, you know, like with the under the circumstances I'm under, and you know, that microscope just always on me. I feel like it did me a lot of good there. Take classes and all that. I feel like it helped me.
And probation, how was he?
Judge, Kenneth's help is gonna give you the staff evaluation.
All right, thank you. Michelle, you read my mind.
Actually, it was Kenneth's fault.
Right? Thank you. All right, this is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. Taking consideration 2024 AL 005487. This
May I
is,
approach, Your Honor?
yes, this is right concurrent with 2024 CR 5756. The court is gonna follow the recommendations of the TAP evaluation. And that is for evaluation for DDRF. That's fine.
Which, so he did not qualify for MIC or DDRF, but in reviewing the TAP, I do see he has extensive substance use history. I would suggest that we address that in some way to ensure that he has the tools that he needs once he's released from custody to attend some type of outpatient treatment, unless you see fit that he attend something similar to like SADA.
Okay, so the documentation that I have, does it say that he's completed that he didn't qualify for DRF? Is that on another
It's a
document?
separate evaluation form, Judge. He completed the final Tacoma eval
Mhm.
on.
Cause I don't have that. I just have the treatment recommendations are for DDRF followed by the Genesis program.
With the outcome of the eval, and then I also included the supplemental report that they just submitted recently.
Okay, awesome. right, do you have a place to live?
I'm hoping everything will work out right. I should, but it doesn't.
Well, who do you think you would be living with?
My grandmother. Either that or my boss has a house that he could hold me up at.
Well, who lives in the house with your grandmother?
My just some family. It's her sister and her her sister's daughter and her husband and my cousin.
Oh. Well, based upon the screening I have, he needs a lot of help. There needs to be some grief counseling here because of his history. He needs therapy because of the history.
I don't disagree with that, Judge. My concern is this. He's gone through the process of conducting these evaluations but for the the refiling of this drug charge that looked like it was dismissed and gone and not dealt with at the prior time of sentencing, which is unfortunate. He's been sitting in custody for so long that sometimes if the court orders inpatient treatment dissuades folks and is discouraging to them. It doesn't lead to success in those programs, and perhaps a court could consider ordering something like a facility like Cross Point, and then ordering some sort of inpatient treatment, but hold it in abeyance and put them on zero tolerance.
All right. The court will order Cross Point. And he is to be released to Cross Point only. Counsel, will somebody from Cross Point transport him?
Well, they have to do an evaluation. So if he doesn't qualify, they won't accept him, Judge. And then
Well, maybe lifetime? Because that's what it says here, lifetime recovery. And I know that lifetime recovery will address any issues related to his history.
Judge, I think he wants to address you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Like with these programs, I don't feel like I need them. Like with
All right, so here's the thing, you can't live with your grandmother. People need to stop. Everybody goes to the stable adult, the adult who has a house, and that's always the grandmother. And the grandmother says no, and then the grandmother ends up with 10 people living in a household, and they're bringing their girlfriends, their boyfriends there, they're bringing their children there, and everybody has a criminal history, and the grandmother can't even relax and just enjoy his or her golden years, because everybody in their family, there's always that one house, and it's the grandmother's house, and everybody goes there. I don't want you visiting your issues with your grandmother. And what I read in the report that I have, it says your support system is your ex-girlfriend, your grandmother, and your mother. And then when I ask you who stays with your grandmother, you're naming all of these people who may or may not be staying there. And then I have the maternal grandfather, his mother, the maternal uncle, his maternal cousin, and his father have histories of drug problems. Then the maternal grandmother, the maternal grandfather, and his mother and his father have a history of psychological problems. So you're staying with your grandmother is not non-starter for the court.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I was really more leaning on to going to the house with my boss will hold me up, because I know if I go there, she'll have me steady work every day. I get to do the roof at the house. I get
Lifetime recovery will let you work.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe some outpatient treatment would be best for me. Like I want to go to therapy. Yeah, I do want to go to therapy.
Lifetime recovery.
That's outpatient.
Lifetime recovery will provide you a place to stay. They will talk to you. They will put you in contact with persons to help you with whatever issues you have. And it appears to the court that you have a lot of issues going on in your life. And if your whole reason for living with your employer was just, oh, I'll do well because I'm isolated out here, I'm gonna be living with him and they're just gonna put me to work. When you stop working, your problems that brought you to this court are still gonna be there and they will not have been addressed.
I thought maybe that all the classes that are on my probation conditions would help satisfy the needs I need to have satisfied within me. Like going to like AA meetings would help with the drugs, and then some counseling meetings would help with my therapy. I've gained a lot of self-control with my mental health. A lot. It would show in the report for doing the DRF, seeing if I qualify for DDRF. That I've gained a lot of self-control with a lot of my mental issues, a lot of my anxiety, my stress, my depression, even my anger, like, and a lot of my substance abuse has died down. So I feel like heavy like programs like that like wouldn't it'll be it's not necessary just to me.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is gonna do. Court is sentencing you to 8 years deferred adjudication. This case will run concurrent with 2024 CR 5756. There's to be a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, which I think he already has with the other probation. There's to be a referral to Lifetime Recovery, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, and field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. And I'm not loading him up with other conditions because his other probation already has conditions for him.
And it's lifetime recovery inpatient or out?
I'll let Lifetime Recovery decide if it should be inpatient or outpatient. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and tell it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank
May I be
you.
excused?
Yes.
Have a seat, sir. Seat, first row signature.